Hi, welcome to another video. On this channel, we talk about everything from personal finance to investing, as well as wealth creation and self-development. So this video isn't scripted. I'm literally just freestyling, and it's a conversation between you and I being friends. And I thought it was important to film this video because I was speaking to a very, very dear friend of mine. And what she said at the end of the conversation, when I asked for her permission to share her story, really struck me. She said, yes, please do, because I bet you I'm not the only one who's in this position. So a little bit about my friend. She is a seasoned and very, very successful corporate lawyer, earns a very decent amount of money in terms of her salary, and she is doing really well by all measures. The only thing she's really struggled with is being financially prudent. And currently, I'm working with her as an accountability coach. So not as a financial advisor, we are just working through how to get her finances in better shape, working through her expenses, working through her income. She finds herself in a position where she hasn't been able to save up as much as she would like and has very, very little investments. Granted, she isn't a financial expert, but she said to me that I would love to be able to do what you've done, i.e. I would love to be able to quit my job and live off my investments. Like for her, that is a life goal, and that's something we both share. So we started off by looking at her expenses for the last year, but also looking at what is taking up a chunk of her income. She lives in a very, very nice, very posh part of London. Surprisingly, her rent is not what takes up the bulk of her income. She loves her luxury bags and purses. She loves her coats, and she also spends on experiences. So we're looking at her expenses for the next few months, and she says to me, oh, I've got a holiday planned for December. She's going to Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Nigerian too. And so we got into a conversation about, okay, what's your budget for your flight? Then she tells me the budget. And I said to her, that's a bit much for premium economy or economy. And she says, oh, no, I'm flying business class. And I looked at her and I said, okay, that's fine. But I had to bring her back into the conversation, i.e. the goal of what we were trying to achieve. And, she also said, oh, there's a purse or a bag she's been looking at for a while. Now, this bag will set her back the amount of money it will take to put a down payment on a house in the northern part of England. And I think what really gets her down is she knows the right things to do. She knows she needs to start minimizing her expenses a little bit and just being a bit smarter. But she finds herself trapped in this dirge because of her corporate profile. She's around very successful lawyers, corporate lawyers who spend a lot of money, have a very lavish lifestyle. And one of the things she said was, imagine if a client saw me flying economy. But she also realizes she's stuck in this mindset of having to spend money to please people. And I thought it was really interesting when I paused and I thought about it, because there are quite a number of people who spend to fit in. We live in a society where you're treated or you are respected according to how people view you, according to your profile. And lately I've seen quite a few videos that talk about why it's important to look poor. Now, the messages of these videos are not lost on me, I promise. However, I don't think it's important to look poor. One thing you have to remember is there are certain people in life who can afford to look poor because of the way they look. Others can afford to look poor because of where they live, their family pedigree, or other variables. But not everyone is in the same boat. I think the more pertinent and important question to ask yourself is, why do I feel the need to look rich? I think there's more value in that, in being honest with yourself and answering that question from an honest perspective. There's more value in that than trying to look poor when you're not. No, don't do it. I would say, look the best you can look within your affordability, because that's exactly how people treat you. It's unfortunate, it's sad, but that's reality. So looking poor is not going to get you anywhere. But as I mentioned, the underlying message within these videos is live within your means. Don't go into debt trying to look like the Joneses. Don't spend too much on luxury, etc., etc. So I get it, and I completely agree with that. But I do not believe that looking poor is a solution, especially when you are still spending quite a bit of money on unnecessary purchases. It's just, it's such a contradiction that it makes no sense. I was reading an article in the Financial Times yesterday. China is, I believe, the biggest market when it comes to luxury purchases and luxury goods. They love their luxury items. And what economists are finding now is that the younger generation in Asia, especially China, are spending less and less on designer or luxury items, and they are instead investing in dupes. Now, these are not just any kind of dupes, and I'm not advocating for spending money on dupes. I believe that companies do expend a lot in research and development, and they've put in a lot of effort into building their brands. So I'm not advocating for buying replicas or dupes or whatever. These younger Chinese buyers are spending monies on quality dupes, where you can't even tell the difference between getting it in store, i.e. a Chanel bag, for example, or getting it on the dupe market. I forget what the marketplace is called. It's something like Xingpi or Mingpi. I can't remember. If I do remember, I'll put it in the video. But they're getting their luxury fixes, if you will, through this marketplace, which is for dupes. Same quality, same aesthetics. I'm not sure if they have the same brand names on them, but even if they do, it's literally the same bag almost. And they're getting it for a fraction of the price. Therefore, some of these luxury houses like Burberry and Gucci are seeing a slowdown in their revenues because, again, less and less people are opting to spend their hard-earned monies on these designer items. There's a saying that goes, designer items are for poor people, whereas rich people invest in quality. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. One of the things that really fueled the luxury market purchases and, this boom we've seen in everyone and their dogs having designer items was the pandemic. A lot of people were at home, they were earning whilst they were at home, they had second jobs, people were taking out loans, people were getting governmental help, people were trading in meme stocks and stock markets and getting really nice returns and just splurging and going all out. People were bored, people were emotionally drained, and we just needed an escape. But now that reality has hit us and we're back to business as usual, you're seeing a lot of that fading away. This is a disclaimer. I am not saying that you should or shouldn't spend on luxury. Like I said, I like to indulge myself every now and then, but I always indulge within my affordability. And the one thing I always do when I'm spending on luxury is I never spend my capital or my income. I always spend from my investment returns. Here's an example. And I wish I did a snapshot of my stock position in 2021. I invested in a particular tech company, and over the next year, it had returned around 300%. Now, there were two beautiful items I was looking at and I really wanted to purchase, but I couldn't justify spending that amount of money from my paycheck. And these were not clothes or shoes or bags. One of them is a sculpture and the other one is an art piece, and that's for my personal enjoyment and consumption. So what I did was I took some of the dividends from my portfolio and I took a little chunk of that stock, i.e. the increase, and I used that towards the purchase of these lovely two items that I now enjoy from a collector's standpoint. So if you are struggling with knowing the right things to do but not being able to do it where your finances are concerned, please get an accountability coach or a partner. You can get a personal financial advisor, you can get a wealth manager, you can get someone whose job it is to just keep you on the right track, keep you accountable when it comes to your income, your expenses, your savings, your investments. I think it's really important. At the end of the day, it comes down to what you value the most. Are you willing to give up your future financial comforts for the immediate exhilaration you get from spending on these items? That really, in a nutshell, is what will determine how disciplined you are when it comes to your finances. The good thing with my friend is that she has acknowledged for herself that A, this is a problem, B, this is not what she wants for her future, and she sought help, and now we are working towards her goal of being financially free so she can retire well before the official retirement age. I hope this video has been helpful. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.